Welcome to Bleacher Talk, a show for the fans hoping for a championship. I'm your host, Emma Durgis. Do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hey guys, I'm Ricardo Hallman, cornerback from the University of Wisconsin.
Being a Minnesota fan, I watched you play at Wisconsin over the last few years, and I am excited to see you go through this draft process and continuing your career with football. To start, can you tell us what got you into football?
For me, I grew up in a really big football family. Literally been playing the game of football since I was 4 years old. So as soon as I was able to gain consciousness, they kind of threw pads on me and told me that was the sport I was playing. Grew up with a lot of brothers too, so I watched them and followed their footsteps and how much they loved the game. And then also, my stepdad was a professional football player, so it just felt like it was something like I was called to do as well. So I knew I loved the game from a very, very young age.
You had offers from pretty much everywhere between Boston College, Michigan, Miami, Ole Miss. What made Wisconsin stand out to you?
It's so funny. People always ask me that question, like, well, what did a Florida boy go to Wisconsin for? And I think I was part of the 2021 recruiting class, so very heavily affected by COVID. We weren't able to take any school visits or anything like that. So I think for me it came down to really the relationship piece. I was really close with the guys that were in my recruiting class, had a group chat talking to those guys every single day. And then just the culture that I heard about from Wisconsin, the brotherhood, the locker room, just the atmosphere, Camp Randall, it just was something I really wanted to be a part of. And knowing also some guys on a on a roster when I came in my freshman year, how much of an impact that Madison made on them, I kind of felt like it was like a no-brainer for me.
Your first experience of a college fall camp, what was that like?
Oh my gosh, I was definitely overwhelmed. I think when you get into it and then you realize it's an everyday thing, I think that's what kind of we call it that freshman mental block. And I hit it. I hit it by my second week of camp. It got rough. Once I got adjusted to it, it became fine. But yeah, that first time getting adjusted was very, very hard.
In 2023, you had 7 interceptions, one of the top marks in the country. For Wisconsin, it was a big mark for you guys. What clicked for you that season?
After getting benched that 2022 year and then coming back my redshirt sophomore year in 2023, I think it was the game just started to slow down for me and I just went from that mentality of not wanting to get beat to I'm going to try to make the play too. And I think that's just channeling that aggressive mindset and just wanting to make plays. I think which is something that clicked for me and just that mindset and then also yeah the game slowing down and then me being able to watch film a lot better and just being a little bit more confident in my game as well.
You had a 95-yard pick six versus Rutgers, which is a very, very hard thing to do, returning it all the way back to the house. What were you seeing pre snap?
When it came to the goal line or in that red area, we call it the red area inside the 10, they did a lot of switching route concepts in that area. And then just seeing what they had did. They had did a play similar the week before in the early in the season. They came out in that formation set and we're just like we're kind of expecting it a little bit, but obviously don't want to assume, but just want to you kind of anticipate what's coming. And as soon as I seen my guy shoot inside, and I seen their number two guy, their slot receiver come outside, I knew it was like I was like I gotta go make this play. I gotta go catch this ball before he throws it. And then the quarterback, even though I was in a pretty solid position, threw it anyway. And then I'm just like you gotta make him pay. So just trying to get to the ball before he got to it was able to do that. And then when I caught the ball, I was just like, I have to score because if I get hawked down or if I get caught, I will never hear the end of it from my teammates and my coaches. So I got to make sure I scored. I was about dead tired at the 50-yard line, but I know I had to keep going.
You are known as a lockdown corner. Do you take more pride in your picks or not getting targeted?
Oh, that's a great question. I think it's a kind of a mixture of both. I think it's really cool. You know, obviously the interceptions and all of that is really cool, but that tells half of the story.
Who would you say was the toughest receiver you've had to face in college?
In my entire college career, oh, that's a good question. I think I played some great guys. That junior year, my 2023 year, Kyle Williams, he was a really, really good player. I think he went second round to the Patriots. I think as far as like the whole thing, as far as the route running and the hands and the swagger he played with, he was a great cover. I think so. I would say from yeah the elusiveness standpoint, I would definitely say Kyle Williams.
All right, what is one tendency that you've picked up on in film that led directly to a pick?
I would say a formation set. A formation set. I know that 2023 year when we played Ohio State and they got in a condensed set when Marvin Harrison went across the line. We kind of knew that play was coming just from that condensed set when they put him in a just situation so he doesn't get touched or rerouted. And we knew that with that cut split in alignment that he was more than likely doing an over route. So just being able to bait the quarterback into throwing that was pretty cool because I felt like I knew it was coming, but it was a matter of making the play too.
For your style of play, do you tend to bait quarterbacks into throwing or do you just react to their throws?
That's good. That's a good question. I think it's a little bit of both because obviously when we have certain looks or certain coverages, we want to disguise them as well as great as we can. But then also there is a lot of times where games and interception and plays made are really purely based off of reaction and kind of how fast you can do this and how fast you can do that. Obviously, if you can bait a quarterback into throwing you an easy one, that's also we also love getting those. But then I think the reactionary ones are pretty cool.
All right, what do you think separates a good DB from an elite DB at the next level?
Just the ability to be versatile. I think when you talk about what takes that DB to that elite level, I think it's always talk about being a versatile guy. Like you look at a guy like Trent McDuffie who just got paid the ultimate top dollar, and a guy who can be able to move inside to play a slot position, but he can also play on the outside and take a receiver out of the game plan either way. And I think that's really cool. So I think really that versatility and just being able to be dependent, be have your team be able to be dependent upon you to make more plays than you give up.
So, looking at your progression throughout your career, were there any athletes that you tended to watch to shape your game?
I think for me, I always tried to watch a lot of cornerbacks that were similar to my size. Guys like Brent Grimes, that's probably like my favorite cornerback of all time. You know, when he played for Miami, I was living down here, so just to see that guy firsthand, really cool, really great player. Love watching him. I model a lot of my game after him and trying to do a lot of things that he put on film as well. And I like watching a lot of Asante Samuel Sr. He caught a lot of interceptions in his career, and I felt like playing a lot of off coverage, which was he was really good at, and very good at disguising his coverages too. So I watch a little bit of everybody, but I predominantly watch a lot of guys similar to my size.
So, in your position, you have to have a short memory at corner. How do you bounce back after giving up a big play?
I'm going to give up plays. It's just like you can't let that be the end all be all because it's a rough game. It's a rough position. It's not easy. So just going to that mindset and mentality that even when you give up a play, is you have to have that mentality that they have to do it again. I'm going to make them have to do it again. Even when a player is giving up on you, you don't want to be down because the second that an offensive coordinator or a quarterback or a receiver sees that they have you in any shape or form in your head, they're going to keep attacking you, and you don't, and that's going to be a long day if you're not ready for it.
Yeah. Okay, you are now one of very few Wisconsin DBs that have over, well, 10 plus career interceptions. What does that mean to you?
That's a really cool. That's really cool. And it's so crazy. I literally didn't know that at first until I read like the jumbotron, our last our last game of our last home game of the season, and it's an awesome thing to do. You know, especially with how many great players have come through Wisconsin. We had guys like Jamar Fletcher, who was a Jim Thorpe Award winner and a great player, first round pick. Guys like Scott Starks, guys like Nick Nelson, like. And it's really cool to be able to be mentioned in anywhere of the same breath as those guys as Wisconsin legends. So, yeah, to be able to have that achievement at such a great university and a great football program is really cool thing.
What do you want people to say about you as you leave Wisconsin?
Whenever I'm mentioned in conversation or whatever, people bring me up, I just want them to be able to say with confidence that I was the definition of a true Badger, a guy that they love the way he represented the team, represented the university. That's all I really want. I can care less about accolades and stats and all those different things. I just want guys to be able to be like Ricardo Hallman. That's a true Badger.
So, with that, the Jackie Robinson Award recognizes leadership, character, and impact. How do you try to embody those both on the field and off the field?
On the field, you know, being especially as a senior, being put like kind of put into that leadership role and having to lead guys the right way. Especially this previous year, I had a very young corner room. And I was like one of the older guys in it. Really cool to have that opportunity to be able to lead. So just trying to bring the younger guys along and also trying to, force that shared mindset and shared belief in each other amongst our team. And not even just only the cornerbacks, but just as one of the leaders as our team, just trying to do that. And I think very fortunate to have that. Doing a lot of different things with organizations and helping the community as much as I can through serving.
If you could pick off any NFL QB, who are you picking number one?
Pat Mahomes or like Josh Allen, being those guys are at the top of the game. So I think it would be really cool to get a pick off any of those guys.
Which receiver do you think you'd be able to lock up one on one?
Oh, you about to have me talking spicy on here. Um, you know what? I'm gonna say anybody. I trust in my abilities. I think I would be able to win one on one against anybody.
Who do you think is the best trash talker that you've faced?
I would say, does it have to? I'll probably say my guy Skylar Bell. Even because he was on my team. So I would say Skylar was really good at getting guys riled up. He was a good trash talker.
Jump around, one of the most uh, coolest college football traditions. I'll say that. I've experienced it a couple times. What was it like for you being out on the field and looking around, seeing everybody jumping?
It's really cool. It never gets old. I remember from my freshman year, 2021, when we played Penn State, and I was the year before was COVID, so there was no jump around the whole entire year, and literally the stadium was shaking, and it was so cool, and then even all the times I've done it, I did 5 seasons at Madison, and it never ever got old. From my first one to my last one, it's always cool.
Now, looking back at your career, what do you think was the most meaningful interception or most exciting interception that you'd had throughout your career?
Oh, that's good. I think the most meaningful one was the pick six because just where we were in the game that Rutgers was about to make it a one-score game too if they got points on that drive. So being able to kind of go in a halftime with a double-digit lead was something that took a lot of stress off the coaches, took a lot of stress off of us. So
Yeah.
I think that was I would say the most meaningful one. I would say shoot, the most exciting one, I would say this last year versus Washington. It was kind of like a defensive game. I don't even remember what the final score was, but I think it was very close, like 13-7 or something like that. But it was very defensive game, and I think we were struggling on offense at that point, and to be able to catch that interception was really cool because it kind of catapulted us to get something going on offense too.
Now, looking at rivalry games, which rivalry is more important to you, Iowa or Minnesota?
Both of them are, I don't know. Both of them are equally important. I would say Minnesota, just because the longest rivalry in college football in Division One, and it's just like, yeah, that game means so much. Yeah, that game means so much.
All right, and then do you have anything that you want to say to the Badger fans who have been supporting you all these years?
Of course, love you guys. Thank you so much for your support. It means the world. Super excited, even though I'm a alum now. Super excited to see you guys and what's gonna happen this year. Rooting for you guys and all Wisconsin.
Oh, go Minnesota. Well, anyway, thank you so much for joining me for Bleacher Talk. It was so nice getting to hear all about your career, and we're excited to see you progress into this next level.
Of course, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you.